What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Nuttyfoodiefitness here. Welcome to today's video. As you are watching this video, we are 1 week out from Ironman Barcelona. We're 1 week out. I just don't even... I don't know where to start. It's been a whole journey. I've never felt so many emotions all in one, ever. Everything that I have done up until this point has perhaps been a little bit bottled up. I mean, I share a lot, but it's just excitement, nerves, feeling proud. It's all the work that has gone into this is like nearly there. It's like coming to an end. And as you can see, I'm feeling like really emotional. Like this is the most emotional I have ever felt in my life. I could cry like that. And that's never been me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sensitive, I'm emotional, but like this is just a whole new level of emotion. I don't see it as a bad thing. I know that it's because I am honestly very proud of all the work, the commitment, and the fact that we have followed through. I remember the first training day as if it was yesterday. It was a Monday and it was sunny and I had to do a 1 hour 15 aerobic run. And I remember it like it was yesterday. And here we are, a week to go. So there you go, I've blabbed on for 2 minutes. Welcome to the video. If you're an OG or if you followed me along throughout this whole process, thank you so much, because I don't think you guys understand how much I've sometimes really like needed to lean on you guys, and you know, your words of encouragement and support and tips and the way that you guys have backed me throughout this whole thing really means a lot to me. So thank you. Wow. Do you see what I mean? If I don't end up covering everything that I want to cover, just thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I'm forever grateful and thankful for having you guys. And you're the best. You're the best. With that said, please give the video a thumbs up and just comment anything. Maybe even Steph, shut up and get on with the video. In fact, comment the burger emoji and like the video. That way I know that you've done it. And that's not my way of pushing you to like the video, but please, let's start off with the question. These are gonna be questions as well as hype words, because I said, feel free to give advice, but obviously don't be giving like last minute advice because the work has somewhat been done. A lot of you understood that. So there's a lot of hype words. Right, what's the one thing you say to yourself that's your code for mind over matter? You all know this by now. And that's, my words are, you've got this. That is the first thing I tell myself. The body achieves what the mind believes. So if you believe you can do something and you tell yourself, you physically tell yourself you've got this, it spurs you on to keep going. That is my code, and I will forever use those words because they've got me through a lot. Surely you're feeling a little drained from all this training, genuinely curious. So I feel pretty damn good right now. Whoop plug. I mean, you guys know by now, but if you do want to check out Whoop, I have a link which will get you a free month and a free band. This is basically what tracks my sleep, my recovery, my strain, and can kind of like give you a visual representation of how I'm feeling. So right now, we're actually pretty good. We're on 87%. We're in the green zone. Whoop's telling me we're feeling good, but I'm also telling you I do actually feel very good. I could probably count on one hand the number of days where I've physically thought like I'm KO. I'd say 2 to 3. And I'm gonna have to say that that's down to having an incredible coach. I've got a great relationship with Andrew, and he really understands when to push me and when to take it easy. I'm feeling good, and there's no way I could have done this on my own. Absolutely no way. I'm so excited for you and wish you all the luck. Just think of it as another day of training. Yeah, for sure. I think I'm gonna go into this one just as I did with the 70.3s and even the London Marathon. Before that London Marathon, I said it's just a long run with a lot of people. The Ironman is just another long training day. I will be tracking you and cheering you on. Thank you so much. The fact that some of you are telling me that you're gonna track me, like, If you guys do end up tracking me, please let me know, because it's such a nice thing. Obviously I don't have my race number yet, but keep your eyes peeled on Instagram, because that's where I will be updating you, because this is the last video until the race day video. Don't drown, don't crash, don't collapse, finish strong. Wise words. Those are wise words. You're gonna smash it, you got this. So many words of hype here. You're a total badass. Don't confuse excitement and excitement. Be very, very excited. You've worked hard for this. Thank you guys. You didn't come this far to only come this far. You've inspired me to want to register for an Ironman. That is just amazing, because when I first decided to sign up to do an Ironman, I did wonder whether anyone would be interested in me documenting this, and I've really found that a lot of you have really stuck by me. You know, I've completely switched up my content. If you were with me from back in the day, I was Nutty Foodie. Fitness was in the name, but I mean, I didn't really have that much to show for myself, but now I really feel I've shown that I can, you know, I can do it. And it's cool that I've had so many of you reach out to me and tell me that you're inspired to do a triathlon or an Ironman at some point. That is amazing. One thing I will say is, although it's like very hard work and very different from anything I've ever done, it's been so enjoyable. Don't get me wrong, it's been really hard, and like at times I've really felt completely out of my depth, but it's just like doing something completely from scratch is really cool. The thing that I've found with triathlon is like you don't have to have been into it. Like you can start it whenever. I mean, it's the same for anything, but there's not a certain age. Everyone and anyone can do it, and it's just cool how these three sports can connect you to people that are so different to you, but yet you get it because you all do the same thing. Take toilet paper to the start transition, often the portaloos run out. Thank you, Rebecca. I will bear that in mind, because yeah, before a race, I fully shit myself. So freaking proud. Don't just compete for yourself. Run, swim, bike for those that can't. See, I really, really love this, and I'm gonna 100% remember this on the day. When my legs feel like lead, I will remind myself. There's a fly and it's really annoying. Can you just go? I'm in a very fortunate position to be able to get on that start line. There are people that can't. Losing my train of thought, because it's like really overwhelming. I'm just thinking of myself like being at the start line in a week's time. I'm so sorry, my brain's not connecting the dots. I'm trying. If my answers to questions just sound like mush, I apologise. In summary, you have my word, I'm gonna swim, bike, run for those of you that can't, and I know it's gonna be a painful day, but I'm gonna really try and take in every moment of it. Be grateful for the fact that I'm there. It's a privilege to be able to take part in this. How are you managing the sea swim? Have you done much saltwater practice? I actually have not done a single sea swim, but I probably will do one swim once I get to Barcelona. So we get there on Wednesday and then the race is on Sunday, so probably be able to test out the water at some point before the race. I know it's probably gonna be different, there's gonna be choppy, it's gonna be salty. I'm gonna just try go with the flow, relax, and just trust myself that I can swim and it will be okay. How do you feel about the climate? How different is it from the UK? So I've not actually been checking the weather up until I saw this question pop up. It's usually about 25-ish degrees. I prefer being hot than cold. Although, like, you know, running a marathon in the heat is not fun, I would rather do that in the heat. The last 70.3, if you watch that video recap, I froze. I honestly froze in that water. Make sure you enjoy it and actually take it in. The last 5K made me so emotional. I didn't want it to end, so really make the most of it. I'm honestly gonna cry so much. Happy tears though, happy tears. This is like nothing I've ever felt before. And this isn't with me even having done it, but just the lead up to it, this final week has just put everything into perspective and really just like allowed me a bit to reflect and think. We've been through so much. Regarding training, what's one thing you overestimated and one thing you underestimated? Okay, this one. I fully overestimated my ability to swim, okay? You know, in school you learn to swim when you're, I don't know, like 5, 6, 7. I don't know at what age you learn to swim at school, but I was at a point where you put me in a pool, I'm not gonna drown. And I also don't need, I don't know what manguitos are. Floats. It's funny because I only know like water terminology in Spanish because I only ever go or have ever gone in the water when I'm in Spain. So don't know what they are in English. But what I'm trying to say is, up until swimming for this Ironman, I thought I could swim just because if you put me in water, I won't drown, right? That means I can swim. I'm a swimmer. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I found that out on day 1 of Ironman training. I honestly couldn't swim to save my life. I couldn't breathe on both sides. I swam like this for months without realizing that the water just goes through. I didn't realize water would splash like everywhere. If only I had video evidence to show how bad my starting point was, but obviously you can't film in swimming pools, but I massively overestimated it. I'm pretty sure as well in a YouTube video, maybe a year ago, it was a video with Grant and myself. The video was like, who's more likely to?
Yeah,
last one,
definitely.
Who's more likely to do an Ironman?
Oh, that's a good one, because I feel like we both want to do an Ironman at some point.
And I said that I was more likely. And when I explained my reasons, I think I can swim, I think I can run, but Grant's like a cyclist. I was like, oh, I can swim. And I'm thinking, who do you think you are? You couldn't swim? You really couldn't swim. So yeah, I overestimated that. And one thing I underestimated, probably the amount of time it all takes. Towards the beginning of Ironman training, I'd say it was very manageable. I mean, I was still uploading YouTube videos, I was going to events, I was socializing, I was being a girlfriend. I was able to carry on with my life pretty much as normal. Fortunate in the fact that Andrew was very flexible in my training. Like at the start of the week, I'd say, oh, can't train Thursday, Friday, Saturday because I'm doing XYZ. And that was fine. There was a lot of jigging around. Towards the later stages of Ironman training, you realise that if a bike ride's taking 5 hours, and then you're gonna have to like run off the bike, your weekend is kind of gone. It's such a time suck. So I think I underestimated just how much time and the sacrifices that I would have to make at the later stages. At the start, I was saying yes to all these things and that was fine, but then, you know, there were a few times where I said yes to things, went to the thing, came back and then thought, you know, I've really put myself in a bit of a shit situation where I've gone out drinking and now I have to do a long run and I'm quite tired. And that's on me. I said yes, I decided to do that, and now I kind of have to suffer the consequences. You know, there are a few points throughout my training where that happened and it made me think I really need to be a bit more selfish with my time. I mean, Ironman training, it's a selfish thing to do, if I'm honest, because it takes up so much time. Where am I going? I was onto something and then I lost it. I kind of learnt that I had to say no more. I've always just blagged everything and gone like yes, 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 and then thought, okay, now how do I do this? Whereas with Ironman training, it's really made me think ahead a little bit more. You're gonna smash this. I cried watching both 70.3 videos. Cannot wait for the Barcelona one. Thank you so much. What advice would you give someone contemplating doing an Ironman? Firstly, you're mad. Secondly, do it. And thirdly, you've really just got to back yourself. You've got to show up for yourself. You've got to trust yourself. You've got to be kind with yourself. I've realized that I chat to myself a lot, you know, whilst I'm training. I'm never negative to myself. Even when I'm struggling, I say to myself, come on, it's hard, but you've done hard things before. So you can do hard things again, and you've got to push yourself and encourage yourself. When things get hard, like to give yourself a little nudge, but not too far that it kind of discourages you. So you've got to be on the same page as whatever that little voice in your head is. It's got to be, you've got to make sure that it's a positive internal dialogue. I mean, from my experience, I talk to myself a heck of a lot, but it's always a positive conversation. Even when it's hard, how much would you have to be paid to do an ultra distance triathlon? Grant actually said to me, I'd probably not even need to be paid. I'll probably like end up doing that next year. No, that's not me saying yes. Not sure. What are you gonna fuel with Eat During the Race? I can't stomach endless gels. I quite enjoy the taste of a Morton gel. It's just like sweet jelly. I think it helps having a really sweet tooth. A lot of gels on the bike, so every 30 minutes I'd have a gel. When that feels a bit much, I also have flapjacks, I have Cliff Blocks. Those I tend to have when I'm doing the run and when I fancy eating something. Peanut butter and jam sandwich. Did you drink alcohol during training? On occasions, yes. Social events, obviously not getting absolutely hammered. Are you happy on how you've prepared getting there? I'm definitely happy with how the preparation has gone. The only thing that I can think of how I could have done better, potentially not going to Bali the previous month, like that was a little bit of a risk, but then in saying that, I also think that that kind of refresh did me good as well. So I'm happy with how I've prepared. I've done the best that I could have. There's few times where I think I could have done more. I've given it my all throughout. What do you think you will think of as you're crossing the finish line? Good luck. I probably think stop crying because I need a good finish photo. I will probably feel very overwhelmed at the fact that I signed up to this crazy thing and, you know, we followed through and did the damn thing. If I cross that line, and when I cross that line, I will say, damn Steph, like you did the damn thing. You did the thing that you set out to do. You did that. And crossing that line for me will signify that I can do anything that I set my mind to do. Like anything I want to do, the only thing that's stopping me from doing something is me. If I want to do something, I can, and that's powerful. I'll carry this throughout the rest of my life because I'll always know that if I could do this, then I can do anything. It's funny because when I initially signed up for the Ironman, I had a really long conversation with my dad, and I kind of wish I'd recorded it because when I first told my dad that I was gonna do an Ironman or that I'd signed up for one, like the conversation kind of went a bit like, whether or not you finish or whether or not you can actually, your body can handle that level of training and that volume of training, like, is an unknown. It was fully an unknown to me because I'd never ever put myself through anything like this. And I remember thinking like, that's kind of scary, but then that's also kind of like part of the fun of signing up for something like this, because I just do not know how I'll cope, if I'll cope. I just have no idea. And it's just amazing to see that I've coped. We're here, we're nearly there. Yeah, we're nearly there. My bad for the tangents in this video. What would you tell Steph from six months ago now you're nearly at the actual race day? I would tell Steph from 6 months ago that it's okay to be scared, because I was scared, I was naive, I just didn't know. I didn't know, but what I've always said to myself is, you've got this. Even if I've not known that I've had this, I've always told myself. So I would have told Steph to not worry, trust the process, trust the training, believe in yourself, keep going, and know that you'll get there. Hypothetically, would you do this again if you if you have qualified for Kona? P.S. Good luck. I've said this throughout. I won't know if I will want to do another one until I cross that line. I won't know if I'll cross that line and I'll say, one, done, swim, bike, run life. It was, you know, we had a great time, but like I'm done, I'm out. Or whether I'll think, that was a lot, but I kind of could do that better. I don't know how I'm gonna feel until I cross that line, but the way I feel about it right now, like this present moment, is that I most probably won't do another Ironman. And the only possible way that I would contemplate doing another one is if I were to be given a slot for Kona. If I'm presented with an opportunity, I'll never completely shut it down without, you know, putting some thought into it. So I think that's probably the only way I would consider doing another one, just because of how much time it takes up. And that's not to say I have not enjoyed, I was gonna say every moment. There's been some testing times, but overall I have loved, like absolutely loved the whole process and the whole journey. I hate that word. It's been a lot. I've enjoyed it all. Honestly, I have enjoyed it all. I've learned a lot about myself. It's kind of like what I maybe would have learned in 5 years, I've learned over the course of like the past 8 months. Like, so much growth and development has happened. What was the question? Oh yeah, would I do it again? Let's hold that thought, but the chances of me qualifying anyway for Kona are 0.0000000000001%, but that tiny little slither of percentage would be enough to make me think, How do you avoid injuries? Just checking if I have any niggles. I'm gonna say that the lack of injuries is down to having a solid, structured plan where I've not overtrained, I've not underperformed, I've just had the right level of everything. I'll thank Andrew for the structured plan. I'll also thank my hungry self. I've been practicing the nutrition around this Ironman training for the past 30 years. I definitely think that that plays a huge part because I'm able to keep up with the eating side of things as the training has progressed. I mean, you guys know I don't do any tracking, I don't do any weighing, none of that, but I eat enough for the amount that I've been doing, and that's definitely aided my recovery. Don't ask me how many grams of protein I eat a day. I don't know, okay? Very much in tune with what I need, what my body needs, and I will definitely say if you're considering doing an Ironman, be ready to eat and eat often, a lot, throughout the day. In fact, just as we're on the subject, I have sushi just out of shot. Is there something in particular you're worried about during the Ironman? A few months ago, I'd have probably said, oh, the bike, like something happening. I'm still pretty useless when it comes to the bike, but I'm at a place where I focus on the things that I can control, the things that are out of my control. What will be, will be. I don't know what's happened, but in the past week or so, I've had like a mental switch where before, when I was 3 weeks out from the Ironman, I was really shitting myself. Not dreading it, but I'd have like a knot in my stomach. But now, it's like, I don't know what happened, but I've come to peace with it. I'm excited. Some wiring in my brain has changed and I'm ready for it. I'm not thinking about all the things that could go wrong. So no, I'm not worried about anything. You know, if you said to me though, what makes you most nervous? Probably whilst being in the swim, knowing that I've got the bike and the run, like that can weigh on me a bit. I don't know. But right now I'm feeling really calm and zen about it. Like I'm just really excited, which is just really bizarre. I mean, it's a great thing, but it's just really odd that I now feel calmer than ever and we're a week out and I'm calmer now than I was a month ago. From what I've seen, you can do so much without even knowing how good you'll actually be. I appreciate that, but I also think this could be the same for anyone. The only difference is I've decided to do it. And I think a lot of people hold back because they're inexperienced or something's very new to them and they therefore think they can't do that. But I came into this knowing I was a beginner, but trusting that I could do it. What I'm saying is, I think that I'm no special to anyone else, but the fact that I've taken the risk, I feel that as humans, we're so much more capable than we think we are. We always underestimate our abilities, and it's easier to say, oh no, I can't, than actually thinking, well, no, I can't right now, but I know that in time I will be able to. And I've just taken that risk. And so I think fear can stop a lot of people from trying in the first place, but if we were all to just try and take more risks, then we would actually all surprise ourselves. Side note, do things that scare you, honestly. This has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life, but at the same time, the scariest situation I've ever put myself in. Smile and enjoy the day. All the hard work is done now. Thank you very much. The fact that you get to do this is because you can, and that's why you're doing it. I absolutely love that. That is so sweet and so true. What surprised you the most whilst going through Ironman training? I've said this quite a few times and 100%, It's how mentally draining it is. I thought it would be more physically taxing on my body, but actually the thing that's been the hardest is how mentally draining it is. You know, to think the weather, like when am I gonna run? When am I gonna book my swimming slot? What time shall I do the bike if I need to run off the bike, but then I also need to get to a meal at a certain time, like when am I gonna do what? Like there's a lot of thinking, even though like I don't have to do the main thinking, which is like putting the plan together, but still your whole life basically gets switched upside down. You've got to be very flexible and be ready for things to not go to plan always, you know, like you turn up to the swimming pool and you'll swim for 5 minutes and then they'll tell you you've got to get out because there's been a pool emergency, if you know what I mean. Or you go for a run and it starts pouring it down. You just got to adapt, but it's mentally pretty draining. My camera's gonna die. I want to do an Ironman, but I can't even ride a bike. Okay, you want to do an Ironman? Fab. Sign up for it and learn. Because same girl, same. I also couldn't ride a bike. I also couldn't swim. And yet here we are. And we all have different starting points, and I don't think that anyone is ever at a disadvantage, which sounds weird because you'd think, wait, you can't ride a bike. And yet there are people that have like cycled their whole life that are doing an Ironman, and yet how are you saying that there's no advantages? There's always a way to reframe things and flip it around, okay? This is how I saw it. I also couldn't ride a bike, right? But I learned to ride it. And at those starting stages, it's new, it's exciting. I mean, it's bloody scary, but the challenge is nice. I say nice. Cycling outside has been the #1 most scariest thing for me. But at the same time, because I started off from zero, you get to hit new milestones. I got to hit 100K on Zwift for the first time, and that was one of the most exciting things throughout this training. I then got to hit 100K cycling outside, 150K, 180K, like these are all new things, and that's exciting. Whereas someone that cycled for years, it's just another day in the office. You can reframe anything, and I don't see never having ridden a bike a bad thing, honestly. Like, take it from me, take it from someone that has basically started from zero with the cycling. It's a challenge. The bigger the challenge, the greater the reward. So yeah, I'm gonna encourage you to sign up, because everyone starts somewhere. Everyone was once in your shoes, and it doesn't matter at what point in their life. Instead of thinking one day, sometime, over the rainbow, like today? Today's a great time to start. If you keep waiting, like there is never gonna be a right time to sign up for an Ironman. Are you going to change your diet prior to the Ironman? No, I mean, what I've just done this whole time is eaten everything and anything. So I'm just gonna continue doing that. Just eat more carbs, less fiber. I think a lot of people have a little less fruit and veg towards a race and just eat more carbs, focus on the carbs. First post-race meal, will Barcelona have enough food? Do you know, that is a concern. Is Barcelona gonna have enough food to feed me? Hopefully, whatever there is. Given we'll be in Spain, I do actually fancy some croquetas. I spent every single summer of my life in Spain, so it's not like I've not eaten Spanish food, so whatever we can get our hands on, really, I'll eat. There's nothing in particular that I crave because I have it whenever I want. You know, there's nothing different from like having it after the race or having it like the week before. Like yesterday, was it yesterday, the day before? I said to Grant, really fancy some ribs and like mac and cheese, and so we just went and got exactly that. What I'm trying to say is there's no like, oh, I cannot wait to eat XYZ, because, you know, this is not a bodybuilding show where you can't eat what you want. Please, could you do a full kit run through? I do not know what tri-suit I will be wearing because I don't yet have it. Hopefully it comes because we go in a few days. Wetsuit, I'm gonna be wearing my Hoob one. Kind of should have everything with me. I'll share it as I'm packing. So follow me on Instagram, it's Nuttyfoodiefitness. When I get my suitcase and I'm packing for the race, I will let you guys know. You're gonna crush this, and no matter what happens, you have inspired us all. Thank you. Just give me goosebumps. I'm new to your channel, why Ironman, what's your sports story? So my sports story is that there was no sports story. There was no story. I am that girl that hated anything to do with sports, couldn't stand PE, dreaded it, in fact, dreaded it. Started training at the age of 24 when someone randomly reached out to me and said, can I help them train at a gym? To which I laughed because it was like, I've never been to a gym in my life. What are you talking about? Anyway, so I ended up signing up to a gym, somewhat helping her train. Ended up realizing I actually really enjoy this. Carried on training. Yeah, lifted weights pretty casually. I've never had any sort of structure. I've never followed even a workout split. So very much like go with the flow. I enjoyed it, but it was never that deep for me. Had this account, Nuttyfoodiefitness, where people would often ask me, why do I have fitness in my name when all I ever post is food? Noted. Here we are. So I decided to take on this challenge. Up until this point, I've never challenged myself fitness-wise, ever. Like I've never had a goal, work towards it and hit it. It's just been go with the flow, do a few random YouTube challenges where I sort of blag, I don't know, walking 100,000 steps in a day. I've never had a physical goal like this. And well, I say physical, it's also very much mental, but I wanted to see what I was capable of. I wanted to see what my potential is. Like I've always known that I'm mentally pretty strong, and I thought that this would be a perfect way to really test out my limits. So yeah, I kind of signed up to this Ironman out of the blue, had never done a triathlon. It's probably why I signed up to do a full distance Ironman without ever having done any triathlons, because I was naive. I had absolutely no idea what I was getting myself into. Had I done a 70.3 first, and I don't even know if I would have signed up to an Ironman, because I would have thought a 70.3 is more than enough. But I signed up to the Ironman and I followed through, and here we are. This is my story. This is my story. Yeah, my story is being someone that thought that they weren't good, they were not sporty, because I never tried, because I never thought I was actually good enough, to actually thinking, hold on a minute, like maybe I can if I give myself the chance. And yeah, and then following through and then realizing, actually, yeah, I can and I will. That's my story. Besides you're an inspiration, I don't see any other suitable words for the situation. I appreciate that. I've been so invested in this journey with you. Do I get an Ironman medal too? Ah, gosh, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I feel like I've literally blabbed on for way too long. To conclude, I don't know, I'm proud. I'm feeling very proud of the fact that we've got to the place that we're at. I'm gonna just try and do my absolute best on the day. Whatever happens, I'm happy. I know that you can't, there's sometimes there's things out of your control, bike mechanical issues. Whatever happens, what will be will be. All I know is I've done my best, and that's the only thing that I can do, and I'm proud and I'm happy and I'm so excited. I can't wait, you know. I actually cannot wait to do this now. It's giving me goosebumps. God, I'm literally just feeling all the feels. Again, thank you so much for all your support. I will keep you guys posted on Instagram. I'll give you my tracking race number because I don't know what that is. I'll find that out. Once I'm in Barcelona, I'll find that out. But that's it, like, this is it, this is it. This is it. There's nothing else I think that I need to say. I mean, yeah. Maybe at another point I will like go into more detail some of the ups and downs and I don't know, just like some things that I have learned along the way. But we don't need to get too deep right now. Not at the end of a video. And that's all I have. That is all I have. If you made it this far in the video, please comment some hype words. If you don't have any hype words of your own, comment you got this, subscribe, like the video. Let me know if you're actually doing Ironman Barcelona. There's like 5,000 people. That is a lot of people. That is mental. It's all crazy. I'm gonna eat more sushi. I also need to swim. Shit. I need to swim in 15 minutes. It's 2:45. Bye. But in general, I'm backing myself.
But the question was not who's the best, it's who's more likely to do it. Once you finish bigging yourself up, answer the actual question.
Me.
Okay.
Because I think that'd just be sick to do, and I want to do it.
I'd say probably you, actually.
I would just want to see if I could just do it.
Let's go with you. I'll give you that one.
Comment down below, Iron Man, if you're still watching this video and you want to see this done.
Shit.